Welcome back to Wise Guy Wednesday. Our favorite mad scientist, Matt Selen, is here. And, okay, what are you doing today?
Well,
I'm not scientific at all.
It doesn't look like much, but it's really interesting, actually. The question I asked at the end of the last thing last week was, why do we put salt on icy roads? And I got some great questions, or some great answers to that. And I got the winner is Larry from Chestnut, and he knew that you put the ice or the salt on the ice because it lowers the melting point of the ice, and the ice melts. And so I want to do a demonstration that shows that. And also I should mention that Aaron from Sullivan and Adam from Effingham also got the right answer, but they got it in there a little bit later. So we got to get it in there quickly. Okay, so here we have some ice water, and our thermometer tells us that it's at the freezing point right now, about 32 degrees. And if we just dump some ice in here, something interesting is going to happen.
Some salt.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting myself confused. So
now you're correcting the wise guy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, but I need correction. That's okay. Okay. So now I'm putting a bunch of salt in there, and let's see what happens. So first of all, what the salt does is it lowers the melting point of the ice, and so that means that a lot of the salt is going to start to melt. But just like in the case where a liquid turned into a gas, like when the alcohol was evaporating on Matt's hand, it took heat away from his hand. This the salt here is causing the ice to melt, and that is taking heat away from the solution. And so the solution gets cold. So if you look now, this thing should be down to about, well, it looks like it's 19 degrees already. It used to be 32, remember. So all I'm doing is I'm starting with stuff which is at the melting point, which was 32 degrees. And I'm dumping in warm salt, and if we look on the thermometer, it's getting colder and colder.
But it still allows it to stay liquid, too.
Yeah. So this property that solid has, that it requires heat to turn into a liquid, or a liquid has that it requires heat to turn into a gas, is called latent heat. And this latent heat is really big. And in fact, if you put ice cubes in your drink, the reason that cools your drink down is not that the ice cubes are cold, it's that the ice cubes melt. And this melting absorbs heat from the liquid around it. And that's the latent heat of fusion, it's called. And so what you see here is that this is actually getting very cold. And if you stick your finger in there, you'll see that it's much colder than just frozen water.
It is colder than your average.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is how before, in the old days, before they had liquid nitrogen, this is how you used